The measure of the cost of living for consumers is represented by the Consumer Prices Index, CPI. This index is based on the costs of a basket of goods and services that are typically purchased by households and is updated on a quarterly basis to reflect changes in spending. The rise in consumer prices can lead to an increase in the cost of living, and therefore, it is closely monitored by economists to gauge the overall health of the economy. A significant increase in the CPI can indicate a rise in inflation and a decline in purchasing power. During times of recession, consumer spending tends to decline, and this can result in lower demand for goods and services, causing prices to decrease. This phenomenon is known as disinflation. On the other hand, if the prices of goods and services continue to rise rapidly even during a recession, it can lead to stagflation, which is a situation characterized by both high inflation and economic stagnation. In extreme cases, when inflation spirals out of control and becomes extremely high, it can lead to hyperinflation. In such cases, the government may need to take steps to control inflation, such as raising interest rates, cutting back on government spending, or implementing monetary policies aimed at reducing the supply of money in circulation. The impact of inflation on the economy can be significant, as it can affect the growth rate of the gross domestic product, GDP, and overall consumer spending. To measure the cost of living and consumer spending, various indices are used to track the changes in prices of a basket of goods and services. The Consumer Prices Index, CPI, and the Producer Price Index, PPI, are two commonly used measures. The quarterly statistics on these indices give a clear picture of the rise or decline in the cost of goods and services, and can be used to understand the overall economic trend. An increase in the cost of living, as indicated by the rise in the CPI, can be due to several factors such as higher consumer spending, higher taxes, and increased production costs. In times of recession, the decline in the GDP can also lead to a decrease in consumer spending, leading to a decline in the CPI. In order to control inflation, governments often use monetary policies such as increasing or decreasing interest rates. In extreme cases, when inflation spirals out of control, the economy may experience stagflation, disinflation, or hyperinflation. The power to control inflation is crucial in maintaining a stable economy and avoiding the negative consequences of high inflation, such as reduced purchasing power and lower economic growth. The quarterly statistics on the cost of living, as measured by consumer prices, reveal a rise in the cost of goods and services. This increase is reflected in the Consumer Price Index, CPI, which tracks changes in the basket of goods and services consumed by the average consumer. The rise in spending on this basket of goods is a key factor in determining the overall cost of living. Despite attempts to control the rise in consumer prices through monetary policy, the current state of the economy and other factors such as the rise in global commodity prices may contribute to a continued increase in the cost of living. Recession, stagflation, deflation, and disinflation are some of the economic conditions that can have a profound effect on the consumer prices and the cost of living. In a recession, for example, the decline in GDP can lead to a decrease in demand for goods and services, causing prices to fall. On the other hand, extreme conditions like hyperinflation can cause the cost of living to soar beyond control, leading to a significant decrease in purchasing power. In such extreme scenarios, the Consumer Price Index may not accurately reflect the true cost of living, as the rate of inflation may be far higher than what is reported.